everyone. Welcome inside the Red Earth Production Studios for this edition of YBMcast, Prep Baseball Talk, powered by Game 7 Baseball, Game7Baseball.com. Fall ball. Register your team at Game7Baseball.com. After Labor Day weekend, they're going to be going full bore. Got some great venues around the area. Also finishing up down in Branson at Ballparks of America. I think we were down there last fall, Lauren. That's what we finished, yeah. Because, we went down around October. It was beautiful. It was gorgeous. It's a great weekend to just go and hang out in October. I'll tell you that. It is really nice down there that time. So we may have to do that. We may have to go and hang with the fellas in Branson for a weekend. So there you go. But hey, if nothing else, get your team registered. If you got 15, 20 dudes and everybody's playing some other sports, but everybody wants to get some reps, keep, play a weekend here or there. You got a lineup and a roster. Hey, go play. Have some fun with it. Enjoy, get your reps. And fall ball's a great time to be able to do that. So register at Game7Baseball.com, and we'll see you at the ballpark, as always. Today, we got some Legion baseball talk, American Legion baseball talk. We've had a pretty good time this last couple weeks with Legion baseball. I was able to work with Joel Anderson over at STL Sports Productions, calling the state championships. Of course, Red Earth Productions, we REP, our digital side, we cover all the social media, manage and market American Legion Baseball on that side of it. So if you're interested as a small business, as a micro business, if you're a sole proprietor, I'm going to kick this in there, little plug for REP, the Rep, actually, we call it, the Rep Digital Marketing. We've been working with Missouri American Legion Baseball now for a little over a year. It's been really fun. We've had a great time. It's bringing them back into the consciousness of the public, and there is some really good baseball being played at the American Legion level, and we had a great time. State championships. It was really good baseball. Sedalia post 642 is fourth place team. You had finishing in third was Jackson, post 158, and then you had Festus, post 253, finishing in second with the state champions Washington, post 218. I'll spit it out in a moment. And what was interesting to me, and here's I thought was really great. You had some kids, these teams from Washington. You had a mixture of Borgia High School players and Washington High School players. Both the Borgia team finished second in Class 5 to Festus. And both those teams, Festus and Borgia, had great representation in American Legion. Festus, Tyler, I know I'm not going to remember some. I think Noah Hendrickson on the Washington side. I'll just put it that way. No, on the Borgia side, and I know I'm good. I think it was Anthony Broker, I believe. I could be wrong. I know I'm missing some of the kids on the Borgia side. But then you had, Tyler Bizzle, Nate Moore, Ian Brown represented there. Nate Moore and Tyler Bizzle were part of the All-Star Border War team this year that we're going to talk about here in a minute. Both played very well. You had, and then on the Jackson team, Landon Watkins, Garrison Brown, Jackson High School. That team finished third in Class 6 a tremendous high school baseball team, Coach Roach, and I love that they were following that and giving props. You know, that's the thing we talk about all the time here, and I'm going to talk a little bit about this because I'm going to be doing this. We're doing some research and looking at things as we're moving into the next season, into the off season, I should say. And, you know, there's places to play ball, and you've got these teams, you've got all kinds of baseball out there.
So we opened up in 2019, and basically there was a void in the area. I mean, we saw that there was an opportunity to have a retail store where people could come in and actually touch and feel the tangible object that they're buying.
What we see is an opportunity for kids to play baseball, but the majority of kids that I see are going either Division II, Division III. There's NAI, a lot of JUCO commits in that respect. I think from Jeffco to SCA, St. Charles Community College. We were over there. Sam Pauley, the shortstop for Washington, is going to State Fair Community College there in Sedalia. And Sam Pauley played tremendous baseball along with all those guys from Reagan Candlebinder, I believe is a Borgia player, and to Cannon Hibbs, who was Warrenton High School, to Gavin Matchell, Washington High School, and the third baseman Tanner McPherson, which I believe Tanner was a Borgia player. You had the outfield Aiden Pekka, and these kids are on my mind because I watched them play all that week, and that was a really good baseball team. They finished fourth in the regional, just came up a little bit short there to Paragould, Arkansas, in the Mid-South Regional. And so I think there's so much going on with Legion Baseball and opportunities if you want to play baseball, club baseball to Legion Baseball, to the options and the availability. What's best, what fits you the best as a player? And I think those are the things that are interesting to me. And we're seeing this just because we're covering a lot of American Legion Baseball. We've seen a lot here recently. And on the Illinois side, we watched a very good 7-inning baseball game on this past Sunday afternoon. And hang around here at the end of this. We're going to have some highlights for you. We're going to throw in the highlights of the game. You can go watch the game here, right here, on Youth Baseball Midwest. Click over to the live side of the channel here, and you can watch the 2023 Gateway Border War between the Illinois All-Stars and the Missouri All-Stars right here on Youth Baseball Midwest from Busch Stadium. It was fun. We had a great time with those kids there. Getting to play at Busch, I was just the same way. Calling a baseball game from Busch Stadium, that was a lot of fun. I mean, we're there live streaming from Busch Stadium, something I would have never thought we would do, but there we were, and it was just a lot of fun. So, and these players made it even better with putting together a really good baseball game. The Mo All-Stars came out on top 4-3. And Tyler Weary was my cohort. He was a Baldwin 6'11" guy back in the day. And his guy from Baldwin came through, Evan Fitzgerald. He had 2 RBIs in that game with a single. He was 1 for 2, 2 RBIs and a run scored. I mean, that's getting it done. Played center field very well. He tracked down some balls out in center field very well. He's a Lafayette kid. He's not. He's a Marquette. My fault. Shouldn't do that. That's tough stuff right there. Marquette and Lafayette. Woo. It's fighting words. But he played at Baldwin. He's a Marquette high school player. And so I think that's interesting too. I'm going to check this out real quick, Lauren, while I'm doing this. Because he put together a really solid game. So I want to see roster-wise. I wanted to look up what... So he wasn't on the varsity roster for Marquette last year, so I'm not quite sure what year Evan Fitzgerald is. He looks pretty young. He might be coming into it. He might have been a sophomore last year. Might be coming into his junior year. Don't know. I'll have to find that out. But then we, for Missouri, Trevor Klund from Pacific High School. And what was interesting, Trevor Klund is just a tremendous athlete, played very well and whatnot, but he's going to college for soccer, which we found that out in an interview with him, which I thought was great. So, but still playing baseball at a high level. He hit .552 over the summer. He hit well over 300 for his high school team. Pacific was a very good baseball team in Class 5. Made it a long way in that district with Washington there. Tyler Bizzle, Festus, he's going to Missouri S&T, caught very well. He didn't really register in that back because he reached on catcher's interference, which I think would have been a single, and had a sac fly in the game. And what was great because the thing was showing up, Tyler, I believe it was his first at bat, might have been his second. He turned on an inside fastball and I don't know if it's a fastball, but I know he turned on an inside pitch and jacked it, and it was foul. And it was clearly going to be a home run at Busch Stadium. He hit the ball a ton. This kid's got good pop in his bat. And the smile across his face when he turned and was just like, oh, I just missed a home run at Busch. It was electric. That was so cool. Because, it's like, oh my gosh, I couldn't keep that fair. So, that's one of those things, the moments, it's really fun in these games. And I thought, and here you go. Keegan Fowler, Maryland Heights, post 213 had the winning RBI. I'm trying to look and see. I want to see where Keegan goes to. There it is, number 27. He goes to Pattonville. And we saw Pattonville last year. Remember, Lauren? We had Pattonville and I can't remember. It's terrible. We've done so many games. But we had Pattonville last year against St. Charles West. And, so we saw him play. He's a big kid, Maryland Heights, and Pattonville had a good, solid season last year. And so you're seeing a lot of these kids that are in these schools and doing that. I think that's great. Tanner Domlo out of Sedalia, he was 1 for 2 with a run scored. He made a great catch in right field. On the Illinois side, now I believe it's Mugley, if I'm not mistaken. Peyton, the catcher, he was 1 for 1 with a run scored. You had Chase Lewis, who was 1 for 2. He had an RBI. And then down here, Hayden Rawls was credited as having the first hit of the Gateway Border War All-Star Game. So shout out to Hayden Rawls, first hit. I mean, kind of broke the ice and that kind of thing. I thought that was pretty good. That was in the top of the second inning. And then Carter Cheney drove in two runs with an RBI single that opened the scoring for the game, and Illinois had a 2-0 lead. And I'll tell you, folks, Dalton Boroff, that young man had a really good first inning, pitched very well. I thought all the pitching up and down, and you had Dalton Boroff. Then there was in the Seth Woodall. Let me look and see. I'm getting all the names here. Had to be here. There it is. Stevie Hobbs. Colton Bultema. Chase Thole. I love this one. Chase Newby. He's a newbie. And Zach DeMarley. All, for Illinois, they all pitched very well. All those guys, they pitched very well. 4-3 ball game. Then on the other side, here it is. I got to get it here. I should have had it. I got so many things open here. It was just the way we did all that stuff, man. It was kookiness, Lauren, right? There it is. Jackson Engel started. Then it went to Nate Moore, Carter Lewis, Chase Schneiders, and then Gavin Woodson. And this is what really, in my opinion, turned the whole game right here, is the last 4 innings, starting with Chase Schneiders. It was 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. They threw the last 4 were perfect. Nobody reached base. They struck out 3 batters between the 3 pitchers, starting with Chase Schneiders, and then to Gavin Woodson out of Ellsbury. Chase Schneiders, I'm going to find out. I know he was Blair Oaks High School, Jefferson City, Post 5, and then Connor Lind, who we saw in the state championships. This young man pitched a heck of a baseball game. Lincoln High School, shout out to the small school there. He pitched a fantastic game against Washington. It was a 1-0 ball game. It was the last game of the night there in that first day of the championships. And, man, Connor Lind had a 3-hit, 7 Ks, lost 1-0 on an unearned run. And, that's the way that ball game was. You're scratching out the run the best way you can, and something happens, and boom. But he came in and pitched the last 2 innings and went 1-2-3, 1-2-3. And the lefty shut down that Illinois squad. And Missouri had, with Keegan Fowler, with the RBI single to win it, really put the icing on that cake. There you go for Missouri. But kudos, Jason Rackers, Aviston head coach there. He was the head coach. I'm going to give a shout out. I got to do this. The coaches here real quick. Lauren, I'm going to do that. I got to do this. The Illinois coaches, Jason Rackers, Aviston Express, Post 1239, Chris Hamilton, the assistant, at Aviston Express, Post 1239. Duran Garagosian, I'm believing I'm pronouncing that correctly. Also Aviston. Travis Gebke, Aviston as well. Jerry Miller from Wheaton, Thunder Post 76. And Matt Troughton, Moline Post 246. Shout out to those guys and for being part of this program. And then you had manager and coaches for Missouri. Team manager was Trevor Moss. Trevor Moss managed the St. Joseph Post 11 to the 2022 championship last year, state championship, I should say. Then Matt Haggerty from Fike Post 499 was supposed to be the bench coach. He ended up couldn't make it, so Jason Howard from Ellsbury Post 226 came in and was the bench coach there. First base coach was Jack Gillis from Fike Post 499. Third base coach Mike Stagel from St. Joseph Post 11. Pitching coach was Connor Spinagle, Sedalia Post 642. We got to know Connor quite a bit, and Trevor too. Both those guys, really good dudes. Hope they hang in there with it and keep that movement. I know Connor is doing a great job there in Sedalia. He's working really hard with those kids. Dugout assistant Samuel Wall from Hillsborough Post 783. He was a player, and they had him in the dugout there as one of those guys that, not quite there, but was part of the all-star team. I thought it was a great opportunity for these kids. But, as we're talking about these things, just here locally, growing baseball, just baseball in general, what kind of player are you? Are you assessing yourself? Where do you want to play? What kind of baseball do you want to play? Where's your thought process? Where are you playing that's going to help you grow? How are you connecting with the coaches? And are you getting the information and the training that you need? That's the key. Whether that's a club, whether that's American Legion, whether that's Slava. We do a lot around here. We with youth baseball, with clubs, which I'm fantastic. Prep baseball report, Kevin Mulder. We do all, because there's so many facets of everything. And one of the things that I think is amazing is, Kevin talked about it for the future games, as we talked last week, is identifying talent. Well, if there's a coach that can identify the talent and you help it get the best out of you, so be it. Whether that's playing, in a club but American Legion baseball is club baseball as well. It's just a different club. And I think that's the way most people should look at that. Do they do their season differently? Yes. But, here's the thing I thought was pretty cool. Washington won the state championships there in Sedalia. The following Tuesday, I think it was, they got on a bus because American Legion National paid for a bus to come and pick them up in Washington, Missouri, drive them to Pelham, Alabama, paid for their lodging and food while they played baseball in Pelham, Alabama. That's a pretty good experience, in my opinion. If that, a lot of these kids are seniors. A lot of them are heading off to college and whatnot and doing their thing. That whole experience and an opportunity to represent your state in a national tournament, in a regional tournament, and an opportunity then to go on to the World Series on a national level. They come up a little bit short. But what I thought was cool was I found this out. I didn't know this. If you win the regional, whatever regional you win, then not only does they bust it, but from right there, then they fly you. The National Legion organization flies those teams to Shelby, North Carolina, and does the same thing. The winner of that is announced at the World Series. and they take them all down to where the World Series is happening. And so, I mean, these are experiences. These are cool. I think it's interesting. You know, you have these elite athletes that we just saw at the Future Games going through a great experience there, meeting with coach and whatnot. What's happening in this experience? Where's your baseball experience taking you? Are you growing as an athlete? Are you growing as a person? And I think these are things that we have to begin to ask ourselves on a regular basis as far as when we're talking about our young athletes, our kids that are 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14, before they get into that high school experience. Because what's that been? Where's your development? Where's your growth? Because there's all kinds of opportunities in how you want to continue to play. Because Legion does play, but they're starting to get more into tournament play as well. A lot of the Legion programs in the state of Missouri are starting to venture into the tournament realm that way. And playing the league through the week, which I think is interesting. Because if you're talking about playing league through the week and then playing in a tournament on a weekend, you're playing how many games through a week, which is testing your depth, testing how your team as a whole, your mental toughness, your mental IQ. And I think that's something, and I'm not trying to be a proponent for or against. I just think it's interesting because I know when my son went to college, all of a sudden he's playing midweek into the weekends. They're playing 5-6 games a week instead of 3 or 4 games on a weekend and a whole week off. Well, the difference is if you've got 4 days to rest your body and recuperate and do all that, that's one thing. But when you don't and you're going to school on top of that, now you're trying the physical and mental toughness part of that when you head into college baseball and you're talking about how do I handle that atmosphere, that environment, when I have to go to class, go to practice, go to the game, go to class, go to practice, go to the game. Every day you're playing at some point. How do you keep your body physically fit? How do you keep your mental state alert? How do you keep yourself focused on these things? And I think as we talk about baseball in this respect, I think that's an important question to ask when we start getting into high school. High school does the same thing. When you're talking about going into high school baseball, I think leagues are interesting to me in that respect because baseball is, and we call it a grind. Baseball's a grind. These guys out here, 162 games, they're playing every day with a few days off here and there. The physical and mental focus it takes to play at that level and stay consistent and keep the valleys, you want to stay at those peaks and keep those hot streaks going as much as possible. That's why I think what Freddie Freeman is doing right now. I'm watching, I think just the consistency. Acuna Jr., the consistency. Shohei Ohtani, the consistency in these guys and their ability to do it day in and day out. Well, how do you set yourself in that place? How much are you playing? How do you keep your physical and mental focus in those places to where you can play? And when you get into high school, you start that because like we talk about with the GAC, you're playing on Monday and Tuesday. Then you play Friday and Saturday and back to Tuesday, Wednesday. So you're playing 4 or 5 games. You might even have a doubleheader on a Saturday, playing 4 or 5 games a week. The physical exertion it takes, whereas we go to summer, we'll play on a weekend, and we got 4 or 5 days to get ourselves back to health. It's a different world than what baseball really is, and I think those are things that we have to address and look at. Just a thought. The opinions expressed by the host of YBMcast are his and not necessarily those of our sponsors. I always want to say that because that's true. Huh? But shout out to all the All-Stars and those guys. And we're going to finish up today with some highlights that we have from the game. Hope you enjoy them. Congratulations to all the players. I don't want to. Maybe we'll scroll them. Maybe at the end we'll put them all up, so you can see them. All the names of these kids. I think it's fantastic. Maybe you know what? No, this is what I'm gonna do. I think you should do this. We have the media guide from the weekend. I will have the media guide, a link to the media guide in the post description. A link to the Missouri American Legion baseball website will be there as well. You can go and check that out. Go see what's going on in Missouri American Legion baseball. And in Illinois, I know Illinois has one. I'll put the Illinois one up as well because we'll have the media guide there. So you can go check those things out, guys, and see what it is. But as for now, thanks for tuning in. We do appreciate it. If you like what we're doing, right there. Bing bong, subscribe. Hit that dinger, because that's what we do. We hit dingers. And because, chicks do dig the long ball. That's true. And so we appreciate it. Everybody have a great day in the Lord. All you pitchers, keep throwing strikes. Hitters, hit them where they ain't. Enjoy the highlights. First pitch, 5:31, hit into left field under it.
Love the communication. Love the communication.
Absolutely. Trevor Clunn out of Pacific making that catch. So
there's some
ground
things
ball
that are
back
better
to
left
the
unsaid.
pitcher. Oh, and he bobbles it. And he got him. Oh, boy. Oh, great pitch. Got him looking. That ball froze him.
Is awfully impressive.
He's 0-2. Oh, great curveball, and he knew it.
He did. He did.
And a fastball that's
I mean, my gosh, that is painting. That is painting.
Curveball smashed back up the middle by Rawls. Got to make a pitch. He does. 3-0. Just bloops it over the second baseman. And
we got to play at the plate.
No. And
Just late.
Fastball, fly ball to center field.
Looks
Under it
deep
is
enough.
Fitzgerald. And he's going to third. I think smart. That's all right. 2. Grounds the ball over the pitcher's head. He's got good speed. And we got an infield single here. This is gorgeous out here. A ground ball gets past the diving third baseman. So back-to-back singles. And a ground ball through the hole.
Perfect placement.
That was great hitting right there by number 18. Oh, and a bobble. I love the base running aggressiveness. Here comes Brown. He slides in safe.
And, right.
And instead, Bizzle was trying to hit it out of the ballpark.
I love that. I think he did good. Love that. He absolutely turned on that pitch. Look, he's got a nice smile on his face, too, because he knows it.
Pops it up. Just
tough play.
Oh, that sun right there. Second baseman back out. Nice
Makes a
catch. Oh, and he tagged, and he scores. Everybody moves up. That is great base running by Fitzgerald and the coach over there. Excuse me. Hudson Williams grounds to Garrison Brown. Throw over. Oh! Not going to get him. Oh, nice job. Oh, and that is fisted into left field. And that ball is a diving first baseman, gets past Kenny, and that's going to score the tying run here. That ball is roped into right field. Oh, and he makes the catch. Number 17, Tanner Domlo, messing with that sun.
I was just about to say, I'd throw to first base. He's
out.
I think the runner on first left.
Yep. I love the cloud cover right now.
Yeah, it's actually quite nice.
And Hobbs blows it right by Domlo for a strike number 3 for the second out of the inning. A swing and a miss for strike 3. And a ground ball to the shortstop. Alsop comes up, throw over, out number 1. As he hits a fly ball into right center, center fielder under it, makes the catch. Evan Fitzgerald patrolling center field pretty well out there.
Punked. Get a base runner.
Oh, and he hammers one center field.
That's hit deep.
Under it. Fitzgerald tracked that. That's a nice job tracking that ball.
Was that Fitzgerald or Tommy Edman? I couldn't tell.
That's lined into center field. Nice catch by the center fielder. Into the stands. Who's going to catch it? Nobody. And that's all the Kirkwood guys over there. Look at him. He's like, you got to muscle up, bro. Did you see that? To these late innings, Tyler. Oh, good pitch.
It's worth the Google.
It is, I think. Swing and a miss for strikeout number 2 of the inning, and another 1-2-3 inning. There you go. Swing and a miss. Great pitch by number 11, Carter Lewis. Soft ground ball, cut off. Oh, Hall can't come up with it. Oh, and he's stuck with it. Number 2, Josh Hagel.
It appeared that the base runner actually, I don't know if he slipped or what, about halfway up the baseline.
Strike 3 at the knees. Palmer goes down. That's ball 4.
Tough take, too.
Keegan Fowler. He's a DH, Pattonville High School.
And real quick, I was just about to say, because on that pitch there, we saw it. A lot of pressure on the catcher right now. You've got the go-ahead run on third base. That is a big, big backstop. Anything gets by you, that runner's going to score.
And that's a base hit by Fowler into right field. Didn't try and do too much of it. Took that pitch up and drove it into right field. Scores the run from third, and Missouri takes a 4-3 lead. Kneecap. Swing and a miss.
Now they're probably starting to think about winning a little bit more. You're in
Right.
the last 2 innings. You don't have the jitters or anything anymore. You just looked up at the scoreboard, realized you were losing by a run. Now it's go time.
And a swing and a miss. Wilkerson goes down on strikes. That's fisted, popped up, lined under it. That is the 3rd consecutive 1-2-3 inning for the Missouri All-Stars, Tyler. Just a minute. Between the innings. Oh, strike 3. Good pitch on the outer half, Tyler. And that ball is hit into right field and it's gotten down for a single. Tyler Vincent, 2-out single here. He's happy, you know.
Hey, yeah, he's got a base hit in Busch Stadium.
Yeah, we don't have his star. I don't know what it. As swing and a miss, strike 3. So, yeah. Oh.
The old Uncle Charlie to get him.
And that's lined to center field. Is it going to get down? Josh Hagel makes the over-the-shoulder catch for out number 2. Ground ball, second baseman. Up with it, Tyler Vincent, and the out is recorded, and Missouri wins the 2023 Gateway Border War 4-3